Alright guys, so today is the day that I'm going to pack my bag for, I'll call it the first of probably 2 or 3 times. And it looks like I have a friend, Alice, who's trying to join me and jump in my backpack. So pardon the mess, but this is sort of where life is right now, with everything being kind of chaotic, and we're getting down to the wire and we're ready to go. So let's get to packing the bag for at least the first time. All right, so the first thing I'm gonna do is make sure that I have everything emptied out of here from our last hike. And I do. So we're good to go on that end. Everything out of the hip belt pockets, everything out of the front mesh, it's all empty. The only thing I left on there is the Garmin InReach Mini, my buff that I will keep, and I think the thermometer. So everybody has a different way of packing their bag, but the most important, I think, key element is to try to have the heaviest stuff closest to the middle part of your back. And so I've developed my own style, the way it works for me. And the first thing I like to do is grab my pad. This is the Nemo Tensor Extreme. And so this pad, I fold it up into 4s and I place it on the very back panel. So I'll try to show you. I'm going to place it back here. And so that it rests up, and that will be what rests up against my back. So it also not only takes the shape nicely, but it also provides a little bit of cushion. And so that's a nice feature for that. Then I will take my Nylofoam. This is my bag liner. And you guys know that this is already pretty much water resistant, we'll say, but I still add this second layer of protection. So I put this on the outside. Now, I don't use a stuff sack for my quilt, so I will just grab my quilt and I will stuff it in the very bottom of that Nylofoam bag. And I do this rather than a stuff sack because it just helps to kind of fill the space out better in the pack, and it makes it to what I feel like is like less bulky. So again, it works for me. Some people like to have the pods, especially the hyperlight ones that come fitted for this pack. For me, I've not actually tried the pods, but I have tried the stuff sacks, and I just prefer stuffing it down in. All right, next I'm going to put in my clothes bag. So in that Nylofoam bag, I have my sleeping bag and my clothes bag and my bag liner. And those 3 categories of items are super essential to stay dry, so they have that second layer of protection. Now, one of our subscribers and members, Jessica, go ahead, bought me this Dyneema Hyperlight bag. So this is going to be something that is my new stuff sack for all of my dry clothes, my base layer, my socks, my extra underwear, my extra pair of hiking socks, and of course this is my merino wool base layer. So this is like doubly protected. Not necessary, but I really have been wanting one for a while and it just wasn't in the budget. So thank you, Jessica, for blessing me with this new stuff sack. I love it. Now I just put this on top of the sleeping bag and kind of just push it down, smush it into place. And literally I'm just like pushing as hard as I can and smushing it. Now I did go with a Magnet Design new bag liner. This thing is amazing. If you guys remember, this was one of the new pieces of gear that I've tried Actually, I haven't tried it yet, but everybody raves about it and says it's the best. And it is only, I think, 5.6 ounces, which is less than half of my Sea to Summit. So this is Alpha Direct fabric, and it's just so soft and snuggly. So this should keep us keep me, I say us, Bear has her own, keep me even warmer during the cold temperatures that we will probably face. So this goes on top of my clothes bag. It doesn't really matter what order I put it in. I might even keep that in my quilt when I initially pop it in there, but as long as it's all in the nylon bag, that's all that really matters. So now, I know it's kind of hard for you guys to see, but I'm going to try to do my best and show you. It's in here like this. Now that nylon bag, I'm going to compress and get all the air out and tie up and then fold it over so that it's as water resistant as possible. So that's all done. So now this is what it looks like inside once I have it all tied down. Hard to see, I know, guys. Sorry. Hopefully you can see something. Okay. Next I will, let's see, I'll do my ditty bags, which I did go through these again and reduce them a little bit. So I have my med kit and then my ditty bag with all like the hygiene stuff and everything that you need in here. I just pop those in on top. And then my stove here. I put that on top. And again, pushing it down just so that it, compresses and kind of saves as much space as possible. And I try to put things like the stove that I just showed you guys, I try to put them not necessarily right up against my back, because you got to remember you're going to be holding it, and it's the titanium cup, so it's hard, and if it's pushing up against your back, it can get kind of uncomfortable. So I'll put it up against this side because my back goes on this side. So let's see. What do I want to put next? Oh, I actually forgot my pillow. So this is a new pillow that I'm taking. It's an Enlightened Equipment pillow. I have no idea how much it weighs. Let me check it real quick. This is a new pillow that was just sent to me as a gift from Enlightened Equipment, and I very much love our flex tail pillow I have, but then I tried this one and I like it a lot. So this one's only 3.5 ounces, super small, but I like that it's so big. And so because I'm a side sleeper, so I like to be able to kind of sleep like this. So this I probably would have thrown in with my sleeping quilt, but I forgot, so no big deal. Because this, if it gets wet, I mean, it's not the end of the world. It's whatever fabric this is. This is kind of like soft, but next time I will put it in with my quilt. But for now, I'll just lay it on top, no big deal. Okay, next is my electronics bag. I actually need to add a couple of things to here because like my watch that I wear, the charger's still over there. So I have my 3 of these 10,000 milliamp night core. I normally only take 2. I'm taking 3 this time. I don't know why. All of a sudden I just decided I think I need a 3rd one, and I think it's because we're going and it's getting, we're going to deal with much more cold weather this time than we did last time for longer, and the battery is drained much faster when it's cold. So I figure I'll just pop in an extra one. It's 5.5 ounces. Not super light when you've got 3 of them, but yeah, I don't know. I just felt like I should, so I did. If I don't need them, I'll send one home. And then I have the flex tail and all the charging cords and the block. And so that goes just on top and the inside. Now, sometimes, depending if it's going to be a super long day and for whatever reason I didn't charge my phone at night or I'm using a lot of battery, whatever, sometimes I will take one of those blocks, charging blocks, and I will put it in my fanny pack, which of course is super accessible, and it's right here. So one thing I learned is things that I think that I might need, like my toothbrush we were talking about last time, feminine products if it is that time of the month, or hot hands or snacks, of course. All those need to be accessible, because once I get this packed up and I'm hiking down the way, it annoys me to no end to have to stop and unpack all of that, even though you get pretty fast at it as you get used to it, but it's still an unnecessary stop. And so I try to have everything accessible so that I can use it when I need it and not have to be super inconvenienced and just keep stopping. Because you'd be surprised, once you keep stopping on unintended breaks, that time adds up, and the next thing you know, you're walking a mile or two less, sometimes per day, than you had originally planned. And so I just try to make everything quickly, easily accessible if I think I'm going to need it throughout the day. Next, I will put my food bag. Now I'm going to go through my food bag. I know I packed it with you guys in one of the last videos, but I have a few things I need to add in here, and so I'll do that. I always take day 1 out. I don't remember which is day 1, so I'll have to do that actually for real before we get on trail. But we're going to pretend this is day 1, and I'm going to have this on the outside of my pack, because remember, you want things that you're going to need throughout the day to be easily accessible, and food is definitely one of those things. Oh, hi Alice. You pretty girl. You trying to get in the bag, see what's going on? Say hi everybody. Hi Alice. Oh, I wish I could put you in my bag. Oh, I do. There you go. Okay. So I put this next. Again, flatten it out, so you're trying to make the bags not super tall, because you don't want it, I've seen some people where their bags were like this, and when I first started hiking, my bag went over my head, and it's hard for you to look up, it's hard for you to look back, it's just a pain in the butt. So I try to make mine as low as possible. Next, I'll put my tent. And this one kind of always makes my bag get shaped a little bit funny, because it's just wide, but it's fine. It eventually ends up evening out. So now I take this, folding it down, and buckling the straps on either side. And then I'll make it a little bit tighter. And I try to keep those even as much as I can, and then it just helps it to carry. And one of the big things is you're trying to distribute the weight as evenly as possible. And evenly, I don't mean you want equal amounts of weight on the top, middle, and bottom. So that doesn't make sense. So I shouldn't have said evenly. But you're just trying to disperse the weight as best as you can, so it doesn't feel, you don't feel something poking in your back, or you don't feel like you're leaning to the right or to the left a little bit, because you will start to feel it over time. After mile upon mile upon mile, you're going to start feeling certain things pulling you a certain way. You're going to start changing the way that you walk and your stride, which then makes you favor one, maybe leg over the other, or one arm over the other. And so it starts to create a problem that really doesn't exist if you keep your pack comfortable. That's the bottom line, is to keep it comfortable. Okay, so now on the back, I always pop my food back here in the netting. You can see it, sorry, there you go. I always have my water filter and bag ready. I keep this, I need to put this in here. This is just a Ziploc bag, because at night when it gets cold, or even during the day if it's really cold, I put my filter in this bag, and then I put it, either I sleep with it in the bottom of my quilt, or I will put it in my pocket or somewhere where it can stay warm during the day so that it doesn't freeze. I'm gonna just shove that on top. And then my rain jacket also goes in here as well. As many times as I've packed and unpacked this bag, you think that it would just be, I don't know, almost like muscle memory. And it will be after the first 3 or 4 days. But right now I'm like shoving stuff in, trying to make it work. Okay, let's see. And I can tell by picking it up, I've definitely got it lopsided. And I don't know if you guys can tell, but I can feel that it's kind of lopsided, so I'm gonna have to fix that. That would be something I would immediately adjust and figure out straight away before I even started walking. But for now, I'm gonna unpack it again at some point. For now, I'm just gonna let it be and fix it before I get on trail. All right, this time around, we are taking micro spikes. Not super thrilled about this extra 11 ounces, but I'm even less thrilled about the idea of falling and hurting myself on potentially icy spots. So I've never carried these before. I don't know exactly where I should carry them, but I've thought the most logical thing would be to carry them where it's easily accessible. If you need to grab them and put them on really quickly, you don't have to unpack your whole pack. So I'm gonna put them in a hip belt pocket on each side, and hopefully that will work out. It will also, because it's 11 ounces, it will also be sitting right on my hips, so that should hopefully not pull back any or add any additional weight to my back. Now usually in there I put my gloves, so I don't know if I'm gonna wanna keep them in there or not, but I'm gonna go ahead and put them in there now because that's where I usually keep them. If I get on trail and I find that I don't like them in here, then I'll figure out what does work. But that is what it is about a lot, you guys, and most of the time you're gonna figure out pretty quickly what you prefer and just what works for you. But also don't be surprised if just because it worked today, something else may change a little bit that you now don't like it in that spot. And so just be willing to be flexible and just being cognizant of what's working and what's not. I'm gonna put a hand warmer on either side in those hip belt pockets too, since my gloves are in there. I'm taking like 4 or 5 packs this time because I'm looking at the forecast and the first few days on trail is supposed to be pretty cold and snowing. So I've got 2 in there. I'll probably take another 1 or 2 in my fanny pack. I may even throw some in the pack at some point itself. Okay, toilet paper. Bear has the trowel, so I will just have my toilet paper. I'll add a little bit to that. I usually put that in the back here too in the netting. So just pop it there if that's something you want to have quickly accessible. Trust me. Okay, so I think that's going to be it for tent poles. These are really helpful when you try to set up a tent, so I would recommend not forgetting these. For me, these go on the side of my pack. I try to put the weight for these side pockets as evenly distributed as possible. So I'll put those, make sure they go all the way down to the bottom, and then on the other side, I will have my smart water bottle, which of course will be full, on the other side. So it kind of just evenly distributes it for me. And all of these things need to be readjusted, and I'll get that done, of course, before we get on trail. So that's that. Let's see. Now on top of this, can you guys see? Yes, you can see. I usually put my sit pad. It gets 1 ounce on the dot. I put that on top, and I use the Y strap to keep it in place. cinch this down if I need to. Okay, so there's that. In my fanny pack, I've taken everything out because I don't want to take an extra ounce if I don't have to. Especially with the addition of those micro spikes. All right, so I have, for the women out there, I have, in case there's a time of the month issue that pops up. It shouldn't for this first month, hopefully. But they're there in case I need it quickly. I have my wallet that I will put my ID, credit cards, money in here, and I clip it to the inside. I have my headphones, which most of these I'm going to have on, but for now I'll just go ahead and put them in here. I have my headlamp, put that in here as well. Again, quickly and easily accessible. If it's getting dark, I don't want to have to stop, dig through my ditty bags to be able to find things like this. That headlamp is right there ready to put on. A couple of more hand warmers. Well, this is my watch I'll be taking. I did get a new neck knife. Jenna, thank you so much for the gift of blessing me to be able to get a new neck knife. The one that I was talking to you about that I really want, the Homemade Wonderlust one, she was sold out. Dixie was sold out, so I bought a cheaper one, but then I saved the rest of the money that you gave me, and I'm leaving it home, and we'll buy the Homeland Wonderlust edition in, I think, December or November when they come out. But for now, I'll take this one. And this works good. I can't remember the name brand or whatever it is, but it seems like it'll do just fine. I've got a couple of snacks. This I'm going to tweak some more, but there's a couple of snacks that I'll have in here. And ibuprofen, accessible. And you guys know I'm not going without these. I have a full month supply of the energy. And again, you want them easily accessible, so they're gonna go right here in my fanny pack. When I'm huffing up that mountain and I really need a little bit of extra energy, I don't wanna have to look for these in my bottom of my ditty bag, as I was showing you guys where I put them in the main backpack. I have one Aqua Tab, or if not one, but quite a few, just one strip. Put those in here. I have spray. And this is like a multi-tool universal tool. I like this because this specifically has nail cutters on it, so it's got everything you need on the little multi-tool. And I pop that in here. I started off the trail last year carrying this in my ditty bag, and three separate times, one of our Tramley members needed nail clippers and something else on there, I don't remember, and I was the only one that had them. And so I stopped, I unloaded my whole pack, and I grabbed them out of my ditty bag. Now I carry them in my fanny pack. Let's see, hand sanitizer, my toothbrush and floss. Remember I told you guys that that was something that I learned too. Often I would get overzealous and pack up everything quickly in the morning and then realize I forgot to brush my teeth. So then I'd have to stop, get everything unpacked, and brush my teeth. So now I'm just going to carry it in my fanny pack. That way I literally can be walking down the trail after eating breakfast, because I often eat breakfast on the go, and I can grab my toothbrush and I can brush my teeth while we're walking on the trail. I have lip balm, another ibuprofen. I need to put that in the back. Another lip balm, an extra lighter, and one single sunscreen. I have a few more sunscreens in my ditty bag, but just to have one accessible is nice. Let's see, and I think that's it. I have these. I don't know if I'm going to bring them or not. I don't even remember what brand this is because it's rubbed off, but these are kind of cool. I got these at REI, and this is soap. I do carry a little tiny eyedropper of soap. Not sure where that is. I gotta find that, but this is also soap. So I think I'm just gonna pop these in here. because norovirus isn't killed with just hand sanitizer. You need soap. So I always have soap with me. And we'll do like we did last year and set up our hand washing station with our CNOC bag. It's really cool. I'll have to show you guys that when I get back. Oh, I will put a couple of the Element Liquid IV, these things, in this pack, or I might put them in the hip belt pocket, see if I have enough room. And I do also carry the Wildflowers Adventures stickers. Many times we run into people and they ask for a sticker, so I carry some and Bear carries some as well. Just something kind of cool to connect with people. Do you have a cool cloth, which I usually keep on my hip belt? Here are my clothes that I'm gonna wear on trail. So I've got my pants, mid layer, base layer, and I forgot my puffy. So because I'm thinking it's gonna be pretty cold, I was assuming I'm just gonna be wearing my puffy, but I usually don't hike in my puffy. So that needs to be shoved in here. And I usually put this at the very end and where it's easily accessible. And so I will usually shove it right on the back, right above where my pad is. And it packs down pretty light. It's only 10 ounces, so it's not that big a deal. All right, let's see how it fits. I'm a little skeptical because I didn't quite shove everything in there the way I want to. Let me see how it fits, because that honestly is the biggest test. Doesn't really matter what it looks like. I mean, it kind of does, but if it fits well, then it doesn't really matter. I put the hip belt pockets underneath my fanny pack, so my fanny pack kind of can weight or rest on the strap. Let's see. Sometimes I would forget to put this strap on, or I don't know why, but you can definitely tell a difference. So I should have loosened all of these arms before I put this on. It's like rule number 1. Every day I do this. I loosen it completely and put it on as if it's the first time, because the way you pack your bag really makes a big difference on how you distribute the weight and how tight you tighten each of these straps. So I lean forward and then I pull it down as much as it feels good. Feels actually pretty good. How does it look? Does it look bulky and crazy? It might, but it feels good. Hold that thought. Ta-da! Forgot my umbrella. So here it is. This is what I will be carrying starting in just a few days once we get on trail. It feels good, despite it does look a little bit lopsided that I can see, but it actually feels good. My shoulders are very comfortable. It feels like the weight is on my hips, which is what you want. And everything else I know is accessible. And you know what I just realized? I don't even really feel these micro spikes at all. So that's kind of exciting. And of course, it'll just be one extra thing that when it warms up and ice is no longer a potential threat for us, I can send home. So yeah, feels great. Let's see how much it weighs. This is 4 days of food and almost a liter of water. So pretty much completely all in. .4 ounces. You guys, I'm kind of digging that. That's super exciting. That's 4 days of food, almost a liter of water, and all my winter stuff is in there. That's really exciting. That's super exciting. I'm stoked. Woo! All right. It's almost time, and I'm super excited to get on trail. Bear is even more ready to go than I am, so we'll see you guys next time. Well, when we see you guys next time, it will be on the Appalachian Trail. So thank you all for watching and cheering us on, and let's do this thing. Let's hike for healing in Appalachia, and we'll see you out there. Love and light to you all. Bye.